I have always told people, I don't need you to light up my world. I need you to sit with me in the dark. And what do people do? They realize the dark is too scary. They realize the dark hurts them. The dark makes them scared. The dark brings them heartache, pain, distress, fear. The dark is where I can thrive, not where anyone else can. You see, Annalise Chapman, aka Star, Jade Baker, Shyla Gross, Shane Rathman, Kayla Starr, Alyssa Lynn, Michael Pat, and his girlfriend Kaya, their friend Steven, Tatiana Salgado, Mariah Ernst, Elena Garber, Brandy Galvin, Crystal Garcia. Never in my life have I ever said I was a good person. I've always had to exclaim that I'm trying to be a better me. That does not imply I'm being good. I'm an anarchist. There's no light at the end of the tunnel. There's only darkness. But the thing is, I choose to walk down it. Between all the people I encountered over the years, they're just snakes. Now, I'm not saying I'm a better person, and I will not sit here and say, hey, I've never cheated, I've never lied, I've never been a bad person, I've never been unfaithful, I've never been scandalous. I have. But I'm not doing it out of the sense of evil. Every time I cheat in a relationship, it's because I didn't understand the dynamic. I was afraid to be alone. It's because I was struggling between the fact that I want to be in a relationship, I want a family, to part from. I'm so used to being alone. As much as I love to have a family with someone, have kids, live in the same house, that part of me that likes to be alone, one night stands, friends with benefits, fucking drinking, fighting, smoking every night. It's like you take a lion out of its natural habitat and it struggles. Do I become domestic and be friendly to the people at the zoo? Or do I go stay ferocious? But what is the cause that people hate me for? Do they hate me because they're jealous of who I am? Or they hate me because through all odds I'm not dead? Even though Annalise Chapman attempted to put me in jail for something that she caused me to do. You see, I have no problem taking a chain, wrapping it around my hand, and knocking someone's teeth out. Whether she's female or male, it's not abusive. Because what happened? She brought up my deceased children, but the tall tale is what I did, not what she said. And even what she said is brought up. It's never she was wrong. Because she still thinks she's in the right. She still thinks she's righteous. She's the queen of all. She still thinks everything she said to me was correct. No. Same thing with Jade Baker. Same thing with Brandy Galvin. Same thing with Kayla Starr. Same thing with Asher Farrow. Same people say they will stick with me through nothing. Nothing's going to change their love for me. Nothing's going to do this. Nothing about me is going to make them feel any other way. And guess what? I'm a liar when you say that same venom. You spit those same lies of deception. I have never said I'm faithful. What I say is don't count your chickens before they hatch. When people say how great I am, that nothing's ever going to come of us, nothing's going to happen between someone's feelings for me, what happens? They're wrong. And they act like I didn't warn them ahead of time. I try telling people, never say never. Never say you're going to stop loving me. Never do this. Never do that. Now, I'm not talking about the present moment, the current relationships I'm in. No. I'm talking about everything leading the overall basis of my life. Even when I was in jail, the people that I would expect to stick around didn't. And the ones that I didn't mind if they did or not stuck around, which means the people I least expect are the ones that have my back way more than people who claim to be there for me. Because whether it's lacrosse, Las Vegas, here in Oshkosh, it doesn't matter. Very few genuine people are left. Now, like I said, I am not a good person by any means, but I am not a bad person. I am balanced. See, what I do, and yes, I'm fucked up for saying this, but here's the thing. Let's take it back to like the focal point, Annalise Chapman, Miss Starr, the oversized sense of egotistical trash. She can bring up my dead kids, and when I react, I'm made out to be the villain, but no one asked her what she said. Because I bet you go back to the police report and she act all innocent. Like a child left outside an adoption center. She's just a lost child. Well, what happens? I step in when she's pregnant. I didn't have to. I could have told her to stay in Texas, where that kid could be aborted and the person who raped her gets $15,000 because Texas laws are fucked up. I could have said, stay in Texas. When she came here, I could have said, oh, I just wanted you to come here, and I could have dipped. I could have dipped at so many times if I was that bad of a person. But what I did, I took the time out of my way, leave my shelter to go meet her, say, I'll step in for the father that's not there for you. I stepped in to be a father. I got her vitamins, her pregnancy test. I got her off the street. I hooked her up with friends, and now she likes that she's taken away from me. But guess what, Star? You're welcome. Gave her new friends and a support system. Toxic, but still a support system. I got us a hotel room whenever she needed it or where she had her urges. Hotel room. And I'm selfish how? Selfish. The term of selfish is to care about oneself only. I didn't get me a hotel room. I got us a hotel room. I didn't get me prenatal vitamins. I got you prenatal vitamins. I didn't check to see if I was fucking actually pregnant or anything else. I checked to see if you were pregnant. I didn't walk my ass to get my doppelganger and take him off the streets. I took you off the streets. I didn't fly from Texas to meet myself. You flew out here and I met you. 3 months. And I did all this and I'm selfish. Because I don't care about your feelings. The only time you cared about mine is see my reaction when you brought up my kids. And when I took that chain around my hand. And at first, when I was sitting in jail, I thought I should just let it go. I should have walked away because she was not worth it. Sorry, her life does not matter regardless. Whether it's her or the little blip inside her stomach. Because now I know exactly what that child's going to become when he grows up. Overprivileged, living in a world that's a small bubble he thinks is a fucking paradise. I'm not pro-choice. I'm not anti-abortion. But God, I hope neither of them survive. Jade Baker. Another thing can be said about that situation. I have reasons to feel the way that I do. I have reasons. Like I said, I've never said I was completely faithful. Silence doesn't mean I said yes. Silence doesn't mean I said no. Silence is the truth, the painful truth, being said without me actually saying a word. See, she had more to lose. Her dearest mother, 2 kids, one that apparently called me dad, and I'm like, now that I think about it, wasn't talking about me. I left the city to come back to fix something that was way beyond repair. What a waste. Even where I left was a waste. Trista K. Lind. I told you I told her I needed space. I told her I was never this fucking saint, the king she sees. But yet I leave and come back. I leave and come back. And it's too late to go back. No matter how much self-realization is there. Tatiana Salgado. What happened to her? Tatiana, what happened to you? You see, I should have figured the moment I met her, she was a overcompensated abundance of emotion. I should have seen all the red flags. She didn't have custody of her kids for a reason. She tried to play the victim. And I understand everything I'm going to say seems like I'm specifically targeting someone, but that's not the case. Because while there are people to blame, I will give blame on myself where it's due. Because I know what I'm doing at all times. People act like I lack accountability. No, I look at the reaction and action. But Tatiana, I should have seen the red flags. Lived in a house by herself. She had the 2 bedrooms for her little children, but they were just there, like there was some memento of some ghost children. She wasn't there for her kids, and her kids weren't there with her for a reason. I failed to see that. Even when I was in jail, all the time I tried to find ways to help her get her kids back. Once again, I try to help someone. And I'm selfish. And I'm the one who only cares about me and my feelings. No. I came back and forth and back and forth. I made promises. I sent letters. I had doubts that I pushed away. And the person that I expect to be there to stick through the good and the bad lied and failed me and failed themselves. Because if I know she's not going to be there for me, what makes people think I'm going to be there for them? Just like Asher Farrow, Natasha, whatever you want to call her. Kitty, whatever nickname you give her. I see the shit you've done now. See, I invested so much time into a poly relationship. I invested so much time for other people. Once again, how am I selfish? I took my time to try to help everyone. And I mess up. See, that's called accountability, people. And a lot of times I've been shot down for it. You see, the one thing that I will never understand about people is how could people confess so much love, trust, and loyalty to someone, but the same people who have my back are the same ones who put a knife in it. The same reasons who would take a bullet for me are the ones pulling the trigger. The same people who want to pick me up when I'm down, kick me right back down. People only pull me up just to let me go so I can fall further. And sure, maybe I deserve it. I look back at my life, maybe I deserve it. Foreigner, anarchist, been a cheater in the past, pathological liar, Barely graduated high school. Always fought in and out of psych units. Been to jail for 2 months. I'm not even calling myself a hardened criminal. Not going to say it made me tough. It broke me. I'm going to be honest. I broke down. I cried. But every tear I washed away, I realized something about everyone. Every tear I wiped from my face is a broken memory that I was able to put back together. Every panic attack, I just saw the vividness of everyone who hurt me that I've hurt back. And 2 wrongs don't make a right, and I get that. But there's a difference between not knowing and knowing damn well. You see, I choose to react back because people already made me out to be a villain. And like I said, maybe I deserve it. But think about this with every ex, every friend. To say I deserved it every time, that's just a statistic that does not work. And I will go through the names and I will repeat them. Like I said, name dropping is one I do because you will get a shout out. But it's not the same when people do it to me because you say my name, you give me power. I thrive off the hate. I thrive off the negativity. I get mad for a second, and then you prove my point. See, whether it's Jay Baker, whether it's Annalise Chapman, Mike Pat, whether it's Tatiana Salgado, whether it's Asher Farrow, Natasha, whatever you want to call her, whether it's Mariah Ernst, Victoria Webke, Cody Perrins, Shane Rathman, Scott Sordo, Angel Galvin, Brandy Galvin, Max Doring, Shyla Gross, Chanel Woods Anderson, Shauna Gross, Talia Hansen, Shane, and Cody Lutton. Whether it's Jeff Webb, whether it's Crystal Garcia, doesn't matter. Whether it's Grace Graff, Sarah Graff, Miss Lynn Gonzalez, it doesn't matter. Stephanie Lyons, doesn't matter. Johnny Matthews, doesn't matter. Shane Rothman, Jacob Thompson, Zach Allen, Jordan Marie, it doesn't matter. Robert Gardner, doesn't matter. You know what's crazy? Everything that I've done started as a good intention, and then I get lost and I lose myself. I'm not a bad person. I'm lost. But while that may sound pitiful, it's not the case. Because guess what? I'm not dead. I should be. I should not have graduated high school. I should not be even alive here with all the shit I've been through in my life or the shit I put myself into. You see, all you can go and text people in my current life, all you, whether who you are, who have a problem with me, can go to text the people who are in my life now and tell them bad things I've done. Because you know what I'm going to do? They're going to, whether it's my girl, my friends, they're going to ask me if this is true. And the part that's going to eat them away is because I'm going to say yes. But that's not me anymore. As cliche as it is. But if you know me well enough, you know I'm not the same. I evolve. And the reason I don't completely condemn my actions is because I learn from them. Like I've said, yes, I've cheated. But guess what? The thing people don't know about balance is how do you know how to be truly loyal if you have not been cheated on or cheated on someone? How do you know about the truth if you've not lied or been lied to? How do you know loyalty until you've stabbed someone in the back or been stabbed in the back? You see? That's called balance. A lot of you don't know what that is, let alone spell balance, or let alone can balance out your fucking credit card. You see, I will sit here and I will look back at comments. I will hear the insults. Callie Cannon, for example. Naviano, the whole entire family, for example. Call me a baby rapist. Don't care. Because I can tell when someone's speaking truth and when someone's speaking off of emotion. There's no direction for that insult. So Callie's mom was the one speaking off emotion. Callie, you told me Callie Cannon told me burn in hell. Kill yourself. So once again, stuff I've heard my entire life. But you know what I do when I read these comments? That. I smile. Because you know what's crazy? Everyone will tell me I'm a psychopath, I'm a monster. Just to follow up the comments of how I should be dead. That, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, snakes of all ages, is what we call hypocrite. Two-faced. Shyla Gross, two-faced. I tried to make amends with her, tried to apologize. The reason I am the way that I am, the reason I carried grudges is because when I make amends, people are stubborn. I remember walking away and I thought me and Shyla were on good terms. Oh, hello, Asher. I don't know. Amanda would say otherwise. And plus, I have knowledge. No, let's see, that's... Amanda, Asher, we found out how you did Amanda wrong and her ex or whatnot. And Amanda told me, like I said, I have the video. I have screen recorded. Yeah, but where are you now? Anyway, prove my point. The denial. Because here's the crazy thing. No matter what the case may be, I made out to be the villain until someone becomes more of a hero than me. Then I'm somehow forgotten. And Asher, you may have claimed to do nothing wrong, but our conversation with Amanda and Joker, whatever his name is, says otherwise. Unless Amanda wants to turn around and say that didn't happen. Because like I said, there's exactly more point proven, and I'm smiling ear to ear. But ask Amanda, her man, Joker, when we're on video call with. Ask her. Anyway, at least I get to have some confrontation head on. Anyway, where was I? Oh, yes. I am made out to be a villain until someone out heroes me, and then I'm forgotten. See, because the other thing that people forget is, for example, Victoria Webke. She can hate me all she wants. She can call me a psycho. She can call me every despicable name in the book. But you know what she can't do? Is take back everything that we did. She can't take back the proposal. She can't take back the time we hung out. And Asher, do you know that you responding the way that you do is proving my point? Or have you not been watching this entire time? How do you know I was actually recording? I just said I was. But remember what I said in the video? I'm not going to say I'm not a liar. So Asher, do you want to play the human game of chess? Because you ain't no queen and you ain't no king, but I'll still checkmate someone. Plus, here you did something wrong when I got out. You didn't get back what you lost. And someone else picked up the trash that you tossed out. Me. Someone picked up pieces of me. My point exactly. Nothing. Because you lost me. But I, to quote many enemies of mine, am nothing. Exactly. You did what everyone else did. Dipped when I was locked up. Because you walked into the unknown. And you didn't see or patiently waited. You lost patience just as much as you lost nothing. I became nothing. So you lost nothing on top of nothing. And you really thought I was recording. Oh, yes, I fucked you in her own, yes. From inside a jail when I had no contact with the outside world. Yes. And this is why. Yes, I fucked you over. How many times have I heard that in my life? Too many. I've heard that excuse that I've done to people apparently since I was 6 years old. I've been told I fucked people over before before you were even fucking scratching your dad's ballsack. Go ahead. Okay, I fucked you over. You know what? I'm gonna play into your game so you can play right back into mine. Sure, I did. Yes, I did. My ex put me in jail, and I fucked you over. Yes, that makes perfect sense, guys. Exactly. No, I didn't see any. Here's the thing. I didn't see any people. I was interviewing, and you know why? In case I had to replace snakes like you. Either way, you promised me something that was a false promise. So go to work. Because you have proved my point, and I thank you for that. That's why it's called cryptic wisdom. Yeah, sure. Sure it is. Sure. Yeah, okay, sure. Like sure. Says okay. Yeah, that's not really how it works. We created a relationship by our own rules. Don't act surprised. You're right, that's not how it works though. But the thing is, we create our own rules. Oh, sorry, I created my own rules. So it worked however I wanted it to work because I was making sure it was us against the world. But good to know you were amongst the rest of the snakes in the world. But what do you do with snakes? You don't cut the head off. There's going to be plenty of snakes to follow. You burn the grass with the rest of the snakes. So Asher, follow the buzzards and don't stray. Don't stray. Follow the light, it will lead you back home. But do not follow the buzzards. And if you do, don't stray. Thank you. Anyway, now to move on to more important matters, rather than, once again, something from my past, recent past. That's crazy. Because like I said, I will read comments. For example, or wherever the chat is on this when this goes out. I'll read comments out of my ear to ear, and as calm as can be. Expose the truth, expose them. I will not speak feelings, I will spit facts, because facts don't give a fuck about your feelings. You can say how you feel. Me and the world have one thing in common. We don't give a fuck about how someone feels. We just care about the facts. But see, once again, I'm going to prove another point. Of everything I did that was good in the relationship with them, the bad gets pointed out. Deja vu, where have I heard that from before? Oh yeah, 5 minutes ago, 10 minutes ago, 15 minutes ago, 1 year ago, 2 years ago, 3 years ago, 4 years ago, 5 years ago, my entire life. The good things I've done in the relationship, and look what gets pointed out. Negatives. So Asher ain't no saint. She's a sheep. No. She's a wolf, dressed as a sheep. Jade Baker, wolf, dressed as a sheep. Shiloh Gross, wolf, dressed as a sheep. Victoria Webke, Tatiana Salgado, Annalise Chapman, wolf, dressed as a sheep. Because not one in my life is someone who hates me. Going to say the bad things I did and follow up any positives. People only go one direction, bad or good. Of all the times I was trying to figure out if I was going to go to Asher or I was going to help them out, all the times I called them when I was in the darkness, all the times I told them to keep their head up. No one's going to mention the moral support I was. People are only going to remember the bad things I did in between. Point one proven. Snake. Fickle snakes. See, the bad I do is going to be always remembered, no matter how much I do of it. One bad can trump 100 good things I do, no matter the severity. See, I came back for Jade, and I had reasons to feel the way that I do. Still wasn't enough. Tatiana Salgado, I stepped up and stepped in when no one else would. I came back over and over. I made promises and vows that I couldn't hold because she wasn't the one. Shane Rathman, I stuck my back out for him every time. We were like brothers. I took muggings for him. I got myself involved in gang warfare for him. I got my ribs, knees, shoulders, whole body jacked up for him. Only for him to spit lies, put hits on us, me and my friends, and act like he's the king of all, act like he's the Tupac of Wisconsin. But did anyone remember the things I did to help him? No. Brandy Galvin. Oh, there was in Vegas. We had our own townhouse to live in. And what gets remembered? That your brother broke my nose, but couldn't finish the job. The reason my enemies still talk is because I'm still here. Simple. The reason people still hate me for who I am, and sure, like I said, I'm a bad person. At the same time, I'm not all bad, but I'm not all good. I'm your perfect set of balance. Because here's the crazy thing. Of all the people that tell me I'm smart and I'm a good person, but then the people who know me, what you're saying is that the people are lying to my face just as much as you are. Who's the saint now? Because the fact will always remain the same. People want to nitpick about what I am and roll with it. My strength will never be highlighted. And why? You see, every time I read back the comments and I read all the hateful comments, I don't get mad. I don't get mad. I don't pursue the negativity. I thought, yep. Because once you made an enemy of me, I try to keep it that way. You know why? Because the more you call me psycho, the more you call me a lunatic, cheater, pedophile, what other terms are there? Racial slurs. I should kill myself. Whatever that. My mom's a whore. I'm a druggie baby. Yeah, I've heard it all. It's getting boring. I want to be insulted and feel insulted. And even with Annalise mentioned my kids, now I've literally gotten every insult all the way. So now someone can mention my kids and I'm not going to be faced. And why is that? Because I'm more genuine than people are original. See, I smile, I comment. Hell, I'll say I get turned on by the mean comments. Because you prove my point. You speak my name, you give me power. You insult me, you fall exactly in my game. Because while I don't say nothing, you insulting me and I'm staying quiet proves you're just as bad as a person as I am. Because you're spending so much time and energy and so much emotion into something that doesn't affect you in your current life. I can like a video of I can like someone's photo on Facebook, and they're gonna ask me why I liked it and just go off on me. And I don't say a word and they prove my point. I'm a psychopath when I get a paragraph just from liking a video or a photo. Am I a psycho? Am I a lunatic? Or am I just someone who thrives in controlled chaos? But let me go down the memory lane quick with some more expositions. Crystal Garcia took me in when I had nowhere to go. I said I would go to a motel, and they said no, only for the slightest inconvenience to get me kicked out. Mindless sheep. Katia Salgado claimed to stick with me and build a kingdom in jail, only to move the fuck on because she's so caught up in her own selfish ways, despite anything I've done. Mindless sheep. Shiloh Gross, I tried to make amends with, stayed two-faced, like how she's always been. Chanel Woods Anderson, this false sense of alpha female, hormonal fucking fighter pride, who needs 3 people, 4 people, or 1 vehicle just to fight me. And here's the thing, I would never act badass. I will always talk with my fists because I'm sick of people underestimating me. I'm not going to win every fight, but I'm going to go into every fight saying I will because that's how it is. You keep that mindset and you succeed. I am not the world's greatest fighter. I'm not going to win every fucking fight I get into. That's where people forget. Because every fight I go into, I fight like it's my life depends on it. Same reason Chanel got a knee to the face. Only to bitch and moan about it. The same thing with Shiloh. I stood up for her when the incident with the Ericksons, and look what happened. I'm the villain. The Ericksons are happy-go-lucky saints of fucking lacrosse. Shane Rothman, I stuck my back out. Only realized he was just a complete piece of trash. Jade Baker, I tried everything, and I had to end things only for the fact that I couldn't do it no more. I'd rather be an outcast and suffering and hated for who I am than loved for what I'm not. Jeff Webb, your lack of understanding caused us to lose a friendship for the wrestling. That's more on you than it is me in that case. Over a cup that was missing, over an injury of mine that you were not there for. Unaware, Snake. Annalise Chapman, I am selfish after all I've done for you. I'm conceited? No. You have to have self-esteem or self-worth to be conceited. I have no self-esteem. I have no self-worth. I live every day like it's my last. You, or I should say, I spent so much money to help you. And you, and I'm going to get blunt with this. After all the money I spent to help you, shelter you, all the time and planning it took, all the times we talked things out, all the goodnight kisses to make sure you can wake up and things would be fine, all the times I gave you my jacket and it was cold out. And you threw that all away, insulted my kids, had me locked up, acted like you were going to drop the charges, act like you were all fine. You became a two-faced, hypocritical cunt who took 2 months to figure out your life, only to be with a guy who's twice your age, and it's only so he can eat out and fucking fuck up my sloppy seconds. Tell me I'm wrong. So, Steven, if it tastes like Shadiah, if it tastes like selfish ego, if you go down there and you eat her out and it tastes like psycho, it tastes like lunatic, it tastes like tattoos, sinner, it tastes, and you hear the sound of music, if it tastes like pure darkness, you're welcome. Because that's sloppy seconds. You had sloppy milliseconds. And to say you two are better people than me, I hope if you lose your baby, that baby turns over in its grave and laughs at you from the face down. Because karma is a bitch. So, Steven, you're welcome for any leftovers. Tanya Hansen. What happened to you? You somehow changed as much as you stayed the same. You became a bad person as much as you became a good person. It's confusing. You stayed the same person, stayed the same toxic person, but you bettered yourself. You had a kid through all odds, but you still stuck someone on house arrest. You got a kid, bad relationship. Kid, toxic environment. Same cocky attitude, better self-awareness. And I'm bipolar. Tell you, what happened to you? See, here's the thing. Here, and I can pinpoint where my life really turned at this point. You video called me when I was in Vegas. I came back for who? You. There was a chapter in my life I thought, and once again, this part is not on you, Talia. At least not all of it is. It's on me more than it is you, but still some of it's on you. Because I came back thinking I was going to be in some fantasy. I'm going to rewrite history. And here's where this is on you. You made me feel like there was a second chance. I got caught up when instead of you doing the right thing and telling me, oh, this fantasy is only going to be a nightmare, you led me on. Only to be with a guy who's on house arrest. Last I checked, when I came over to your house, all the time we hung out, when I saw you after so many years, and you knew how happy I was. Last I checked, I wasn't wearing an ankle bracelet. I was not going through legal troubles. I wasn't wearing an ankle bracelet, wrist bracelet, freaking monitoring necklace. I wasn't wearing no freaking monitoring condom either. And I'm a step down. I was doing fine up until that point. I was at a high point. And 2 weeks after shit hit the fan with you, I was back to my old ways. Because you had to lead me on like a false shepherd. Brandy Galvin, after everything I've done for you, you let other people's opinions of me cloud your judgment. And once again, that common thing, cheater this, cheater that. I can tell you who the people I've cheated on. But here's the other thing. Every time is different. Every time is for somewhat of a reason, not because I'm a prick. I've said countless times, I see the world through the broken lens. I operate differently. And when I do something that's far-fetched, people act like I didn't warn them. I cheated on Shyla. Because she was more toxic than the people I was cheating on her with. So I was still taking a step down while still going a step up. I cheated on Victoria because she cast me aside, and I wasn't righteous enough to end things the right way, so I forced my hand. All the times I've cheated in my life is because I end things that way. I forced my hand because I don't have the courage, and sure, I'm a coward for it. I don't have the courage to say, hey, we're done. But that was before. You know what I do now? I say fuck you and I leave. This is not 2020 me. It's not 2019 me. I'm not the Black Valentine from 2018, 2017. Now I dip. But I do it the right way, but in my way. I don't say we're done. I say fuck you and I leave. But that's if I know something's going downhill. Before I did it because I wasn't satisfied, because I tried to find the perfect relationship. And now I realize like relationship ain't perfect. You gotta make the most of it. Which is why now I don't need to cheat. I don't need to lie. What happened with Jade was because I was drunk. Because I gave, and on purpose, I didn't give a fuck about the world. I'm your traditional R&B song personified. I got drunk and I fucked someone because I stopped giving a fuck about the world. Kayla Starr, you promised that nothing's gonna change the way how you feel about me. You told me you're gonna sit with me in the dark, but you couldn't handle the darkness. You couldn't. The dark was too much for you to handle. And Amanda, I will get to you. Be patient, my young Padawan, because I have more people to attend to. I'll get to you when I can. Because and this better be good. Because I think with this cryptic wisdom, the outcome is going to be I got to figure out who I have to cut from my life and who I have to keep. So it's like a test. Stay secure. Anyway, Kayla Starr, the darkness was too much for you to handle. You living in California, miles away, and once again, I planned everything to help. I told off someone for you, and still I became a bad person. Oh, how ironic people are. Victoria, everything we've done, you can't take back. That hurt's still there, whether you want to admit it or not. The scars are there, whether they hurt you or not. And that's all I care about. Because now you're one of the few cases where you deserved it. And if people don't know why or think that's harsh, I'm not going to tell them my side of the story, because no one is going to matter. And they can listen to your side of the story, but like I said, you're going to tell it with some words being twisted, and only the bad are going to be recognized. So either way, not saying you're going to be wrong, but they're not going to get the correct answer from either one of us. Where else? What other people do I have to talk about? Let's go down to the cross. Robert, you false thug. Robert Gardner. False thug. Just, he's simple. Stop acting like you're something you're not. I could be fake and still be more real than he could. Mariah Ernst, you still spit the same lies. You still spit the same venom ever since you were 15. And somehow, you're just a nympho looking for dick. Because it's the best way to drown your emotions and drown your pain. Life doesn't go well, you need a freaking dick shoved in you just to feel better. Same thing with half the fucking thoughts on the cross. Same thing with Elena. I flew across country only to find out she's moved on. It's expected from a thought. It's expected. Twice. 2 chances. I tried to, once again, this is one of the instances where I tried to recreate or get back something I lost, only realized the person wasn't ever with it in the beginning. They were lost. Mindless sheep who strayed. They are why I say follow the buzzards and don't stray, because Elena and Mariah stray. Same thing with Mifflin. They stray. Along with Barbara. Rumors have to be created just to get me in trouble, because you don't have enough truth to do it. Simple. All the bad things I actually done aren't enough to outweigh people's hate for me. So you have to make up shit so it just weighs heavily on my shoulders. So it comes crashing down. Stephanie Lyons. I changed who I was for you. As a friend even. And it wasn't enough. My life was going shitty, but I could cope with it. Your life's going shitty and it breaks you down. And you try to tell yourself it's going to be okay, that you got things going, that you moved on. And in all honesty, you lied to yourself to keep your heart from breaking anymore. And I was a friend, and it still wasn't good enough for you. I'd rather be a loyal enemy to you than a false friend. Because that friendship was one-sided. But it swapped back and forth between whose side it was. Callie Cannon. After everything we've been through, the mesmerizing stargazing on top of the bluffs, when we first met, all the rumors, all the parties, the time you got drunk and sucked Tristan's dick when I was next to you, only to have people get mad at me. Callie. And now realizing whether it's giving head to someone at a party and you're not dating them, jumping from boy to boy to boy to boy to boy, to caring about me temporarily, realizes you're more fucked up than I could ever be. Tell me to kill myself. Heard that. Saying I should burn in hell. Gladly, I will. You know I couldn't afford. So I mean, what insults are you trying to achieve? What are you trying to do? You're not trying to vent. Because if so, you're a child. All the times I stuck my back out for you, all the times I tried to plan a future, and you become what you hate about everyone else. Selfish, lying, egotistical, unfaithful slut. Who rather have a vape than shelter? Who rather get high and drunk than to do some shit with their life? And you getting a job is not enough to bridge that. Because even with the job, I still see that childish ways you are. That freaking suburban lacrosse bitch over there talking like she's the shit. I ain't, I ain't shit either. But I damn well am more shit than you are. And if you think you're the shit, you're just constipated. You're more like a hemorrhoid. You, Callie, are a pain in the ass. You always will be a pain in the ass. And even when someone goes through the same shit for you that I went through, they're going to find out. You're just another pain in the ass. Because if all the people that love you knew, you would have very few people left to love. And even fewer that would love you. Because I stuck up for you when I only realized you had my back and you're the definition of the one who put the knife in it. And I fucked up countless times, but I tried to fix shit faster than you could even say your own fucking name. I tried to figure out myself. I tried to take this time and the space to recollect myself when you can even fucking collect fucking pieces of broken glass off the damn ground. You were fueled by your mother's ego about her thoughts on me. You were fueled by all the gang warfare you had to go through. I chose you over Juliana, and now you made me regret that decision. Not because I left someone I loved, but because I got myself involved with someone else who couldn't figure out their fucking life. Same thing with Juliana. I tried to help, but it's at her convenience. Callie, that's what describes you. Convenience. You don't give a fuck about anything or anyone unless it benefits you. You rather suck a dick only if it benefits you, not if it benefits anyone else. You rather get high, drunk, and molested in the streets only if you have a reason to bitch and moan and something gets fixed. You won't do it just for the cause. Cassie Paul. All the alcohol consumed, all the drugs, all the times you try to start shit, all the times you've gone from boy to boy, only realize there's some type of criminal mastermind. And you become so intoxicated with this reality that you can change. You cannot. The good person you had, you lost. And I told him when you lost him that she was going to go to someone else. You remember Austin Cassie? Austin McIntyre, you remember him? He was actually better than anyone you've had, and me included. And you heard him and pinned that on everyone else because you couldn't take blame for yourself because you were so filled up with Hennessy and Jack fucking Daniels. The only time you were not intoxicated, you were fucking someone named Jack Daniels. Even then, you would still have Jack Daniels in your system or in your stomach. And you would still complain and blame everyone else for your fucking sorrow and troubles. Fucking shame. Scott, you broke my nose being finished the job. Simple. Next time Scott begin altercation, it won't be the same outcome. Unless you bring a second person. 3 people, because you need multiple people just to fight me, and that says something. You needed Mikey, you needed your beautiful wife. I'm sorry you didn't have your kids jump in. Because I have no problem. I would have kicked their heads in as well as I kicked yours. But I would have done it one by one, like a fucking sniper rifle. An angel. Angel Galvin. Didn't finish the job like usual. Kicking my knee in, but still. Guess who's still walking, bitch? And Brandy. That's on you. My point exactly, Kenzie. If they jump, they pussy. Angel, Mikey, and Scott. All the Ericksons. Shane and his little crew. Pussies. Grace Graff. What happened to you? You were the goody two shoes who barely even peeped a swear word. Peeped a swear word. Your whole day was school, movie star planet, and hanging out with the girls. Taylor, whoever the fuck came to mind. And what happened? One word and one rumor of me, and you turn on me. You reacted to me like you were a Jew and I was a Nazi. You had pure, misplaced hatred. And you know who that's from? It's Grace Graff. Cody Parents. I tried to make amends. I thought about it. I sent you a message, but I thought, no. Your dad left this world for a reason. He had to put up with you. Because hell, if I would have died at the same time he did, it'd be because you took everything you ever had that was good in life that you were gotten and handed, and you tore it apart. You bitched and moaned when shit didn't go your way. Big, bad Cody Parents works a regular job and lies about how he's a top-notch MMA fighter, a top professional wrestler. No, Cody, because you were not saying that till you met me. And you know who was a top MMA fighter when you met them? Me. You know who was a wrestler already 3 years in when you met me? And I mean truly met me? Me. I didn't realize this till a year ago. Every lie you talked about your life, it's a truth of my life. Talked about being a tattoo freak. I wonder where we got that from, Cody. I wonder. 16 years, I don't know, 15 years MMA. Cody, I wonder where you got that from. Oh, yeah. Top pro wrestler, independent wrestler. I wonder where you got that from, too. Cody, it's on the tip of my tongue. Oh, yeah, me. You called yourself a king. I wonder where you got that from. You called yourself a Leviathan. I wonder where you got that from. Call yourself a sinner and a saint. Oh, that's a tough one. I wonder where you got that from. Said you had no fear. You were Mr. Fearless. Once again, I wondered where you got that from. You told everyone to open their third eye. I wonder where you got that from. Talked about being a top rapper one day. I wonder where you got that from. You called yourself an anti-hero. I wonder where you got that from. So Cody, you're just a bootleg bitch version of me. You're a bigger, hairier, roided up, hypocritical, selfish, egotistical, pathological, maniacal, bootleg version of me. And you can't even back up a truck, let alone anything you fucking say. You're the definition thinking that sizes matter. You're bigger than better than everyone. You have a temper. You can't be controlled. You can't be controlled. Bitch, I'm gonna get a gag ball and a leash and I'm gonna be a dominatrix your ass. And you're gonna see exactly why you lose the things that you do in life. Because not only can I make you my bitch, life already did that way before I could have a chance to. You lost your house, you lost jobs, you lost your father, you lost your friends. Excision for life was no longer a thing. I had to make Excision 2.0. And for those who know me from my wrestling content, like for example, Russell, Jared, I already have Excision 2.0 forming, but it doesn't include the originals. It doesn't include Dylan, Russell, or Cody, or Katie Dobbs for that matter. We already know how she feels about me. Excision 2.0, aka Contra. You'll see soon. Cody, you lost everything. All because you couldn't be honest with yourself. You became a bitch. Simple. You didn't have a courageous muscle in that fucking body of yours. 260 pounds, and you still are a coward. You had to lie about meeting people, talking to people, having. No. I may be a liar. I used to may have been a pathological liar at some point in school, so I can get out of trouble. But guess what? You did it for the love of the game. Like I said, you're just a bootleg bitch version of me. I said what I said. Sorry, not sorry. Taylor Stugemile. Simple for her. Her and Eric living happily ever after, but at the expense of me. She couldn't see a good person if it kicked her in the cooter. Simple. Because with her and Eric together, it's just two cunts who think they're living happily ever after. It's crazy. These things are going to continue to happen in my life. They're never going to stop. But what will happen is that I'll continue to push forward. I should have been dead a long time ago, but I'm not, which means as much as I want to be dead, the thrill of living without attempting suicide, the thrill of finding out when my time has come is the thrill of life. Because if you are still in my life now, you're there for a reason. Close, I should say. Actually, no, if you're in my life in general, even if you still hate me from a distance, you're there for a reason. Annalise Chapman, our business is far from over. Because while I legally cannot directly involve myself with you, that's not to say you didn't make other enemies. And that's not by my choice. People that were friends with me when I was locked up because of you realized what you did and said to make me act the way that I did. So I can go to bed. I can move all the way to fucking Ukraine if I want to. I'm not the only person you pissed off. And as much as I try to tell them, don't deal with you, you're not worth it. And I mean it, you're not worth it. As a human being, as a so-called mother, you are not worth it. You and Steven with his sloppy seconds. Mike Patton, his fucking girl. And guess what, Mike, Kaya dating you, it's because of me. Now, here's what people may not know about that situation. I was at this homeless shelter. She came here one night, was going back to North Dakota. Who convinced her to stay? Told her she had a better life here. Told her she had a bigger support system. Who asked her out? You. Michael Pat. Mr. Sociopath. Mr. Train, whatever. Michael Pat. Mr. Michael Pat. That slut that you walk around with from North Dakota because she's a toxic human version of a meth syringe. You're welcome for her. Because I told her to stay is the only reason you asked her out. Because if she would have went back to North Dakota at 3 o'clock that afternoon, you would still be a lonely child who post-divorced. You would be still filing out divorce papers and deal with your freaking stupid children. Mike, you're welcome. And while I'm at the library, there's more knowledge in my fingertips than people like you can read. I don't care how old you are. I don't care what you've been through. Knowledge is gained not by how much we go through, but by the quality of how it is. Everyone will respond differently. Like I said, I'm never competed about trauma in life. What I do is I tell people, if I've gone through something that's worse than what you have, it's possible that you can make it through. People twist my words and make it seem like I'm competing. So people, if you have a problem with me, I'm at the library. Even though most likely if someone's going to try to do something, they're going to do it in the cowardly way. That surprised me. But because I know how people act, I'm going to see it coming every time. So Annalise, me and you, or not just me, but friends of mine who you pissed off because you locked me up because you want to bring up my dead kids. No, I was right. I know, because I'm raining on people's parades right now. Okay, I'm not leaving the library then, but I'm also raining on people's parades. Annalise, I can just sit here, relax, and do nothing about you. It doesn't mean I have other people on my behalf, whether I tell them to or not, are pissed off at you and your boyfriend and your little posse. Victoria Webke, I'm a bad person. I'm a bad person. I'm a psychopath. I'm a selfish sinner. I'm a lunatic. I'm a sick individual. I'm a twisted child. But I'd rather be a honest and proud lunatic than a washed-up, two-faced cancer survivor who uses them being a cancer survivor to get sympathy. Because Victoria, that's all you do. You use the pity of how I hurt you. You use the pity of you being married or you being engaged, of you powering through working these hard-ass jobs. You use the leverage of you being a cancer survivor to make people feel pity for you, so that whenever something bad happens to you, they turn their attention to the problem. The reason people never actually had an issue with you is because you use the leverage of you being a cancer survivor, and people got mad at me instead because you are fragile. So Victoria, what you are low-key saying is that because you are a cancer survivor, that you are not a bad person. And you saying that translates to saying you're low-key calling yourself weak. Not saying you are, because Victoria, I'll give you credit where credit's due, even though you still think I'm an asshole. You are one of the most intelligent people I've ever met. You are one of the strongest and more perseverant people I've ever met. Still are. But goddamn, bitch, where the fuck is your brain? You have all that intelligence to see through these black curtains, these dark veils, and all you still see is bullshit. Please explain to me how I'm the villain. Sure, I made mistakes. You know who else has? 7 billion people on this fucking planet. So if you're getting mad at me for making a mistake because I don't know how dynamic I am, you need to meet 7 billion people and tell everyone how shitty they are. And you know who's included in that 7 billion? You, bitch. You and your fiance. Simple. Because just because you survived cancer doesn't mean you're immune to bullshit. Especially whether it's thrown at you or the bullshit that you decide to spit. You can survive cancer. You're strong for that. But it's only because you spit enough venom to where you have the antidote. Because you, my friend, Miss Webke, are not a cancer survivor. You're a pitied snake. And that's not me saying that about people who have survived cancer. It's just you are not them. People who survive cancer have a lead on life. They do charity work. They do organizations. They do public speaking. They tell people, hey, you are strong. Victoria, I have not seen you on a podium anywhere. And trust me, I look. You have not been on a TED Talk. What do? Stuck working at fucking wherever you work at. Still insulting me on comments. Telling me to keep my name out your mouth. And guess what? Look how that turned out for you. I told you. Whether you're not my mom, whether you are or not. What makes you think I would listen to you? Hell, if I have to have people share this video to specifically everyone I call name drop in the video, I will. I will get your attention one way or another. Because what's the worst you can do? Come fight me? Been there, done that. Insult me? Been there, done that. Bring up my kids? Again, like Annalise did? Been there, done that. Lock me up for what? Been there, done that. Jump me? Been there, done that. And even if you try, I know that I piss people off. I know I'm unapologetic. So I'll see it coming. One of the craziest things in life that I find funny is that people can forget their own flaws and their own mistakes. Cody Parents, you, like I said, are a bootleg bitch version of me. Everything you claim to know how to do or think or feel, it's only because of me. Who created Excision? Who created a wrestling group that was supposed to be dominant? Me. Who broke it up because they're bootleg bitch version of me? You did. You left me and Russell hang out to dry. But don't worry. A king knows how to recreate. Mariah Ernst, you're just a sex addict. Elena Garber, you're just a lost girl who doesn't know what she wants in life. Kayla Starr, you're just a selfish thought who speaks all these kind words only to turn back on its own meaning. Tatiana Salgado, you are a lying, drug-addicted, selfish, lost cause, technically, who lets everyone down because things don't go your way. Jade Baker, I warned you and I did things the right way. I ended things then the right way. And you have to live with that because we all know you're not going to lose sleep over losing me. Never have, never will. Crystal, you had the chance to take me in just to kick me out. You are the definition of a hypocrite. Two-faced snake. Johnny Matthews, you know what you did. My jaw will never be the same because of you. But trust me, once all things are said and done, you're going to know how my jaw feels. Brandy Galvin, you will never change. And if you do, it's because what I say motivates you. So either way, you're welcome. Asher Farrow, prove me wrong, because I will dig dirt and find the truth. There's nothing you can say that's going to prove me wrong, other than tell me shit I already know about myself, my mistakes. But look at your flaws and your mistakes. You point fingers because it buys you time to figure out what you did right. You point fingers at me because it buys you time to think of excuse on why I'm a worse person than you are. Grace Graff, you will act goody two on the outside, but you're just a witch on the inside. All because things did not go your way. All because I was not the friend you thought I was. Talia Hansen, they say no matter how much things change, they will all stay the same. No one talks about how blind you are to see how things are going to really conflict with you. Trista K, with the sincerest of hearts, I apologize for what I did over the year and a half. See how you don't get the harshest of shout outs, but still, wait for it. I should have just stuck and ran with it because I had everything I needed, but I tossed it all away. But it's your fault because I told you it's not something I'm ready for. Because let me explain something. No matter who you are, Jade, Tatiana, Elena, Mariah, Stephanie, Talia, Shane, Cody, Shane Luton, Cody Luton, Russell, Asher, Tatiana, Crystal, Brandy, Scott, Angel, Robert, Callie, Jaded, Alexandra, Naviana, Tanya, Selena, Tobias, Jalen, Annalise, Mike, Victoria, Chanel, Shyla, Shauna, Anna, Miss Annalika, Kayla, Jonna Myers. No matter what I've done to you, no matter who you are to me or what I am to you, no matter what problems we've had, mistakes I've made as a friend, as a boyfriend, as an acquaintance, someone just at school, no matter who I am, there's one thing I've always been. I've been true to myself, whether I've been a shitty ass human being or I've been a good person. I have always been myself. But in the end, all will be nothing more than a fleeting memory that invades your mind in the dead of night. A passive thought that you will reminisce back on years from now, and you still reminisce on. Because everything I've said and done, you say it doesn't bug you, but you still dwell on it. You still have to insult because the memory surfaces. But don't worry. Maybe with sorrow, but hopefully with a smile. Still, don't worry. I'll still be here. I'll be existing forever within the memories and experience that we once shared. All of which I'm eternally grateful for. And I say that because the bad things I've gone through have made me stronger. Grateful to you and the rest of the world for letting me experience the darkness, the trauma, the pain, the heartache, the sense of hypocrisy, my mistakes, all the times I fucked up, all the muggings, all the pain, all the time when I got my jaw dislocated, when I got my nose broken, all the fights, all the gang violence, all the stuck-ups, all the insults. I'm okay with that. Those experiences have made me stronger. So the reason I ask for trouble is because it makes me stronger to a point where when shit hits the fan, no one's going to stop me. I'm unstoppable. I'm untouchable. Even in death, I still will be strong because in the next life, if you reincarnate too, I'm going to kick your ass in the next life. I'm going to outsmart you in the next life. Some moments of pure bliss are filled with laughter. Those moments I hear, and they echo throughout the night time as time itself flies from your grasps and mine. Others of darkness, other moments of darkness, other sounds of the darkness, other voidless moments that seem to go on endlessly, turning mere seconds into an eternity. It was all those moments that I found life. It's those moments that I became the tattooed lowlife. All those moments I became an anarchist. And it was those moments that became a constant reminder that I still existed, that I have survived all of it. But it's becoming too much for me now. But even then, that's not going to stop me. Because even those nights that are full of despair become days. They become months. They slowly become years. The same despair that served as a reminder that I am alive. They taught me, but they also gave me a sense of direction. And it sounds like I'm being ungrateful. Just a whiny little bitch complaining about something so minute compared to all the other problems of the world. I guess I am. But how can my sadness stack up against the harsh realities of life somewhere else? Ones that I have myself have not even experienced. It's where people are being slaughtered endlessly, dying of disease, famine, no homes, being raped constantly, corrupted by governments, being assaulted, being abused, no family. I have no right to complain. I guess I'm not as strong as some people are. But it's sad, only the strongest, the most adaptable survive. So it's only fitting that you live to carry on this legacy as I do. But I hope that one day, all of you, forgive me for being such a burden. Because all the times people have told me I'm not a burden, people have defended me from insults, only to give me the same insults back. All the people who said I wasn't a burden became an enemy and then told me I was a burden. All the people who stopped me from killing myself became an enemy and told me to kill myself. Hypocrites. But for running away from all these mistakes I've made and problems I've created, would only be leaving all of you to take care of them. But it's very selfish of me. I'm not going to say I'm a selfish person, but I have my moments. But I know you'll be able to handle them. I know all of you will be able to handle it. Some of you are stronger than I ever was, or ever will be. Strong enough to shoulder the weight of the world and keep moving forward. By the time you finish listening to this whole hour and a half, I could be gone. Who knows? But you'll still be here. You'll still have a chance to create a life that you want to live. But every time you think of me and everything, all the times all the bad I've done, all the times I've hurt you, as well as loved some of you, all the times I've hurt or healed, you'll know. I know I'm asking for a lot from people half the time. But at the same time, I don't ask to be helped. But I have a final wish. I wish that everyone, both me, my friends, and my enemies, keep living on. As fucked up as it sounds, I wish to continue this life. I wish for everyone to live this life and do not succumb to the circumstances of it. I want everyone to love and hate and give infinitely the love and hate back. I want the war. I want the peace. I want to experience all there is to experience. I want everyone to chase after their dreams and wishes. I want my enemies to do the same thing. I want my enemies to live a happy, fulfilling life for the both of us. Every second we're alive, we have the chance to recreate ourselves from the second our eyes open to witness the radiating light above us. We're given a new opportunity to live the life that we want to become the person that we wish to be. We can shed our old skin and become shells of our former selves. It'll be hard, but we are all strong. Kill the part of yourself that you despise. Let the part of you that wants to thrive be born. Do this every day. Do this every day. Till the former self is nothing but a memory that you reminisce back on with the gratitude for helping you become a better version of yourself. Even the darkest night will end and the sun will rise. Because nowadays, my silence is looked upon as odd, as frightening. Somewhere in life, society has forgotten the true beauty of saying less. A tongue that will spit venom with no help from the mind. And yet humans should simply coexist when they realize the sun and the moon share a distant friendship, each unfazed by each other. But I am unfazed by the hate, but somehow being a generous person is equally as toxic as being a cruel person to someone, risky with no reward. Same thing with the sense of anger people have for me. Anger isn't always a weapon. It's sometimes a tool with a sixth sense to use for a reality that we currently live in. Even the darkest night will end and the sun will rise. That peaceful sense of mind, it's an awareness of passion or desire, seeking oxygen, because I use that anger and I pull that anger from the ashes. Those ashes that I was born from, without vanity, I often enjoy. The senses feel comfortable with that skin I'm in, because people know who released me into the wasteland to admire the dirt and salivate these scars. They seek to comprehend unworthiness, and I seek to comprehend unworthiness. But society has forgotten the movements of my heart. So I speak a language of truth that was buried under deception like an archive language, just because my mistakes outweigh anything good I can do. The greatest should be convinced with the strongest sense of insignificance. The greatest reality, our reality, is an attachment that has been fabricated. Reality cannot be obtained by those who are detached. Attached from morals that somehow I can still hold on to, but other people deny. But morals are not to die off. They're meant to confront. Do not fear the grave, but embrace the tombstone. I do not look for any existence other than truly within myself. But the crazy thing is that if you listen, you can hear the sounds of the mockingbird. You can sit under the most beautiful willow, or the willow could be dead and the leaves could be falling off. And in the darkness, you still feel at home. But let me ask you something. I wish my enemies a happy life. I wish whatever life path gets tossed that way. Because you know what's crazy? I am a sinner and I'm a saint. I am unapologetic. I am controversial. I am unorthodox. I am unapologetic. I am unapologetic. Sorry, not sorry. I am unhinged. I'm unstable. I'm unconventional, unorthodox. I'm outspoken. I am controversial. I am philosophical. I am cryptic. I am ominous. I am elusive. I am all of this, as well as loving, caring, trustful, trustworthy, honest. I am all this under the banner of heaven and above the fucking flames of hell. And no one's ever going to tell me to be otherwise. If I do something bad and cause a problem, oh well. If I do something good and cause and get a reward, oh well. I'm okay with any outcome happening, because look, I got out of jail for 2 months and I'm still here. I'm still thinking the same way. I'm still the same person, same mind, same heart, same soul, same body, somewhat. Nothing about me's changed. I only learn more about the world and its people. And I do all this under the banner of heaven and above the flames of hell. Nothing's changed. I've stayed the same person. I will continue to fight and breathe. The reason this cryptic wisdom is long as it is because this has been bottled up. And then no matter what people say about me or to me, yes, I've made mistakes in the past. Keyword, the past. I'm not the type to live a life this frequently. People have always known because I've sought help, which means I'm looking to change to an extent. The reason I have problems in life now is because I want to change for the better, but I'm afraid I'm going to lose who I am. I'm afraid that changing my behavior will change who I am completely. It's a conflict of interest. So, Jade, Tatiana, Annalise, Shane, Cody, Victoria, Maya, Elena, everyone, friend, enemy, whoever you are, Dylan, Preston, friends, whoever you are. The reason I mess up is because I'm conflicted with becoming better without losing my sense of pride. And if that's not enough justification, then all you to take your own advice when you tell me to kill myself. Y'all should look in the mirror over and over and tell yourself that you're a better person than me. Because I am the twisted child. I am the forgotten son. I am Wisconsin's resident sick individual. I am the rogue prince. I am the rogue assassin. I am the savior of misbehavior. I am the saintful sinner. I am the Sin City psycho. I'm the Las Vegas lunatic. I'm the Egyptian wild card. I'm the Middle Eastern thirst trap. I'm the Egyptian venom. I'm the tattooed lowlife. I'm the king of spades. I'm Black Valentine. I'm the Las Vegas Leviathan. I am the Desert Storm. I am Ripsaw. I am the anarchist. I am the dark horse. I am the renegade. I am the young rebel. I'm the rebel heart. And I am alive and kicking. And there's not a damn person who's going to put me down, talk down to me. No one is going to overlook me, underestimate me, downgrade me. No one anymore is going to tell me I'm less of a human being. Call me a cheater, liar, hypocrite. Tell me I should kill myself. Bring it. Because I want to hear everything that I've been trying to say since I was 10 years old. That I may be a bad person, but I'm an honest sinner and not a false saint. And with the famous words of Bray Wyatt that I have used, follow the buzzards and don't stray. The light, if you follow it, will lead you back home. So follow the buzzards and don't stray. Don't stray.